Hello everyone, welcome to Legacy IAS. So this video is about Nepal floods that we are seeing all over the news. What we will be talking about here is basically what casualty and what losses have been caused till now. Then we'll also understand what is the reason for this flash flood, and then we'll see that why Nepal and the regions surrounding it are so vulnerable to such issues. Okay, let's get started. Now, first thing is basically 26th of August 2026 is when we saw these flash floods. Now, till now, I am telling you till 5 p.m. today, we have seen loss of 300 lives and 177 citizens, among them are Indians who are still missing. Then the flooding occurred in Lende Khola River and Bhote Koshi river systems. So together in these rivers, we have seen these massive floods. Now, this has destroyed the Gairong port, and there has been also cases of certain South Korean individuals who were working in a nearby hydro project, they going missing, and many other people losing their lives. Okay, now let's try to understand what caused this flash flood. Now, if you see here, see, this is where you will also understand that what is the connection of climate change to all this. Now, what has happened? The first thing was the warming of Himalayas, and which unstabilized the glacier. Recently, just a few years back, we also saw something similar of like glacial lake outburst flow in Chamoli district of Himachal as well. Correct. So this is warming Himalayas and unstable glaciers. These rising temperatures have made the glaciers unstable. Now, Nepal has all the different kinds of Himalayas, and they have a lot of glaciers also, especially in the Tibet region. So Tibet is part of China as China claims it, or Tibet is an independent country as India believes it. So right on the border is where we are talking about now. So because of this, glaciers have become unstable. Now suddenly we saw glacier collapse. Correct. So glacier collapsed, break off suddenly. A large chunk of ice and all, they break off from the glacier. Now what happened? They cause massive avalanche. Avalanche is just like you know about landslides that is caused in normal lands. In icy conditions, what you know is basically all this falling down like this is called an avalanche. So we see a massive avalanche. Now because of this, what happens? The river got blocked. So this avalanche was there. Now this avalanche, those large ice pieces, they fell on Lende river, which is in Tibet, and it stopped its flow. So this river, which was normally flowing from Tibet to Nepal, now it is obstructed by this large chunks of glacier ice that has fallen. Now after that, what happened? See, so this large chunk has fallen here. This has blocked the river. After the avalanche, this has blocked the river. Now, the river course will change. First thing, also, what will happen? That over time, this debris built up. Now, because of that, what happened? A natural dam is formed. As you can see here, this is like a natural dam. And on this side of the dam, what you will see is a lot of water that is collected over here. This is like a glacial lake that is formed. Why it is formed? Because of this debris being concentrated here. Now after this, what happens? At some point of time, you can also imagine that this was not a dam that was naturally constructed for many years or artificially constructed. This was something that is temporarily made by the nature itself. So it will have a very low threshold. Now once that threshold was crossed, this dam gave away the water. Basically the flow of water that was stopped by it, this dam broke down. So the natural dam suddenly collapses and is overtopped, releasing all the stored water started getting released like this. Constant release, very high volume, that all that was collected here is suddenly washing away like this. Now, because of that, what happens? You see a massive surge of water, mud, and rocks. Now, because this is also containing a lot of debris and mud, stones, all these things. So this flow of water is actually carrying all this with itself, and then it is going downstream. Downstream are the places where we have a lot of human habitations also, and that we will see next. So this actually caused massive surge of water, mud, and rocks flowing through it. Then now from here, this Lende river meets the Bhote Kashi river, and here what you see, it entering Nepal. So now it enters Nepal. Now this is not just normal water. This is water, this is stones, this is mud, this is a huge chunk that is coming at a very high velocity. Now this surge enters the Bhote Kashi and Trishuli river systems in Nepal, gaining more volume as these rivers already have a lot of volume of water. So that also gets carried away. Now Nepal is also very famous for very steep valley, very steep gorges. Okay, why? Because all the rivers, Himalayan rivers mainly, these go at very high speeds. Because of that, gorges are created. Correct. So now these steep valleys, so something very steep will create even higher velocity. Correct. When you go on steep roads, suddenly the speed of your cycle or your car also increases. Similarly, this is very steep valley, so the velocity of this water that was flowing also increased a lot, and this increased the destruction. As you can see, the flow of water is very high right now, very high velocity, very high volume, and also it has a lot of veracity, as in different kinds of things we are seeing here: mud, stone, normal water, any sediment, whatever came in its way. Now, this caused the flash flood and debris flow. Once it reached the habitations, the human habitations areas, the nearby villages, the downstream areas from the river, it caused a lot of destruction. The kind of destruction that is very huge or unprecedented in the way. Why it is being called unprecedented? Because this is not even remotely related to the monsoons or rainfall. So this is what their meteorological department has said, that this is not because of rainfall, and this was not something that they had predicted in their weather systems, because this was caused by something high up in Tibet, and this information was not relayed to Nepal on time. Now there are a lot of speculation why that happened, because Tibet is controlled by China, so all that political things goes on, but the destruction that it is causing, it's still continuing, and because it is causing destruction in all these areas that lies downstream. Now why Nepal is so vulnerable to flash floods, why they are so destructive in Nepal, that you understand. First is, of course, this is sudden and fast. It gives you no time. Also, Tibet is not an independent country, so you don't get that kind of regular information from them as well. So suddenly you see lake burst, glacial lake burst outflows like this. Then there are very steep slope, as we talked about, which increases the velocity further. Then there is heavy debris load, because all these areas are very rocky in the way that all this will be carried with them. This rocks can create even further destruction. Then concentrated settlement. So there are certain places downstream which are very concentrated in human populations, and if those areas is where the water reaches, it will completely destroy it, causing a lot of life and property, loss of life of and property. This is the result. That is why the flash floods that are caused in Nepal are so destructive in nature. The pictures that are coming about are really sad, and if you can do anything with respect to donation or any way, if you would like, that you can do for the Nepal floods. Hopefully within a few days this should calm down and we should be at a better place. So these are the causes which has caused these flash floods, and this becomes important for us from our UPSC or perspective of other exams as well, that is understanding glacial lake outburst flow. That's it. Thank you.